Hello, good evening, and welcome to another fantastic show at ESC Fan TV. Yes, Super Saturday was so good. We had to have two shows instead of just one. And yes, the panel has been refreshed. Look at that. Brand new faces with some old favourites thrown in. We are going
What do you mean by refreshed?
Refreshed, new,
Refreshed.
invigorated. See, this is why you with your ABBA t-shirt on, Andy, your Spanish, fan. I like it. See, revigorated, refreshed. It's like a soap that's had a cast clear out, and we're back with some old favourites and new faces. There we go. Right, this afternoon, this evening, whatever, we are going to be discussing Benidorm Fest. We are going to be discussing Swedish Melodifestivalen. But first, I'd like to say a massive hello to my panel, the king and queen of ESC Fan TV, fresh from their hosting duties. Hey up, you're right.
Yeah, by the way, I'm ready to go.
Hey. And I hope you've refreshed the gin glass as well. Dry January is now over. Mine was a Sauvignon Blanc. Also joining us, we've got Andy.
Muy buenas noches. Muy buenas noches.
Hello. Also joining us, we've got the lovely Elena.
Hello. Did not have a wee, but I'm ready to go.
Way. Also joining us, we've got Troy.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, Australia. Good evening, Europe.
And we've also got Andrew and Paul. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, everyone. We haven't had a wee either because we've only just literally been told to come on.
Hey, but you've got
Changes
top
last
glasses,
when
please.
things like that happen. But it's great. Thank
Yeah,
you so
Andrew,
much.
that was because they
Very
weren't happy with the quality of the panel before you came on.
No, you see, like it's all to do with this cast.
I don't know if you'll be
clear
happy
out.
with the quality afterwards.
Well, I tell you what,
I'm deeply upset.
starting
Why are
with
you upset,
quality.
Andy?
Because
Starting
they weren't
with
happy with the
quality.
quality of the panel that they had. So 2 minutes
on
before
mute,
8 o'clock, Michelle's on the phone. Please, can we get somebody better on? Anybody?
Someone mute
She's a
Andy,
cow.
for God's sake.
Oh,
We need-
and
we
you were
need
the
some
first. You
outtakes
were the
on this.
first people that I rang as well, so that was really good.
We need some outtakes
Well,
on this.
after this,
Anyway,
no,
the
you
background
were
has
the
changed.
third.
Right, so on mute, Andy.
The background has changed, guys. We are going to be talking about Benidorm Fest for the next half an hour or so. Obviously, fantastic final last night. It had everything you wanted. Well, it had St. Pentro and George, which was everything I wanted. But absolutely fantastic. Let's take a look, though, at the songs that didn't quite make it through to last night's final. When I find it. Where's it gone? It's gone. Well, we'll look at the finalists. Oh, no, they're there. They're...
Quiero decirte que lo siento. Quiero decirte que no pienso en nadie más. Me vas a ver quemar la noche sin final. Me vas a ver de 11 a 12 horas. Noches de bailar sin regla. Vas a llorar cuando. Quiero decirte que lo siento. Quiero decirte que no pienso en nadie más. Me vas a ver quemar la noche sin final. Me vas a ver de 11 a 12 horas sin parar. Pero qué rico será un beso en la mañana, buscando el solecito en la ventana. Si te veo me bailan hasta los pies.
Nos miramos tan dulce, comemos despacio. Habla por la espalda, me importa un carajo.
Me quisiste llevar a volar y acabé de rodillas. Lo llevo en la memoria, ya me acerco.
Per tu compten les hores d'un rellotge aturat. Després el temps en versos per voler-nos trobar, però no.
There we go. There were some of the songs that missed out on last night's final. Let's go straight to Troy. Troy, were there any songs there that you thought should have made it through to last night's final?
No. Oh, no.
It makes it a very short conversation. I like it. Mick said the finalists were certainly the better songs on offer. Andrew and Paul, were there any there that you thought could have snuck through?
I think the one that I was disappointed didn't get through was Roger Pedros on the piano. To me, I actually thought that was quite a simple, beautiful song.
I don't think that was his name, but the second from the last one on the clips.
Hey,
yeah,
like it. I mean,
other than that, they were pretty. It wasn't very good standard.
I mean, I do think. Oh, I disagree. I thought the standard of Spain was actually really high this year, and there were so many songs that could have actually made the final, and actually, so it was almost like people were stuck for spoiled for choice.
Yeah, I think they've done a very good job this year, haven't they, with the quality of songs. Do you think that Spain are going in for the win this year?
Well, that comes what they entered, so that's another thing.
Well, it's true, but in terms of their song quality, overall,
the song quality wasn't. I don't think it's good enough to win, but I do really, really think what they've done in the last 3 years with Benidorm Fest is the way forward, really. They've really upped their game.
Hey, awesome. Thanks, guys. Let's swing across to Andy, fanning himself there. Andy, when it comes to the two semi-finals of Benidorm Fest, do you reckon there was enough variety there for people?
Yeah, there was actually. There was a great deal of variety. To answer the previous question, which song should have gone to the final? Obviously, the one that won the televote in the first semi-final, which was Mentras, the Girl and Two Boys in Pink. That was my favourite song, but it wasn't a great performance. So I can understand why it didn't, but it was the televoting favourite. So really, that should have had a place in the final. So the one thing about Benidorm Fest that I don't like is the way that the scores are arranged. So the jury has 50% of the votes. I think that's a bit much. And the way the running order was put out in the final, putting the two favourites at second and third, that was a nod to the jurors. We don't want you to give these high points. So that is my only criticism. But I think Benidorm Fest has got a life of its own, like Sanremo. So winning Eurovision is not going to be the main point now. It'll be winning Benidorm Fest.
Which is lovely to see. I mean, it was amazing to see the Spanish fans last night have such vibe and vigor, I think is the word I'm going to use when it came to it last night. But let's roll on to Alina as well. Obviously, there were a number of songs that didn't qualify. Do you think they should perhaps have more importance on the televote so that a song that does win the televote should get through?
Yeah, of course, because the televotes, in my opinion, are like the most important votes, because that also means that the public will choose that song also to vote at Eurovision. So I always think that televotes should get sometimes more recognition than a jury vote. But that's like a yearly discussion when the winner of Eurovision gets chosen. 1 year it's like, well, televote. Other years like, jury vote. So yeah,
It was what crossed my mind last night, but not when watching Benidorm Fest. Another national final that shall remain nameless.
Yeah. Okay.
And let's swing around to Phil and Michelle as well. Phil and Michelle, what did you make of the two semi-final shows for Benidorm Fest this year?
I think Benidorm, it was, they were good shows.
They do put on a good show.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
I think the fans, as Andy said, were a bit unhappy about the voting, especially with Mantra. And they were also unhappy in the second semi-final how how low Jorge Gonzalez got voted by the juries. I can understand why. When you're being asked to pay €2 for a vote and you only count for 25% of the total scores,
Yeah.
it's a bit much.
But the public can't always be trusted to pick the right artist. Because does everyone remember when we sent Scooch? Because people are going, oh, this would be a right laugh, watch this. And that ended really badly. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts. Do you trust the public or don't you trust the public? Because sometimes the public don't have the best interests at heart.
The shame of it is, though, I think with Scooch, I know we're totally going off the point here, but there are people I spoke to that actually couldn't understand why Scooch they did so badly at Eurovision. And I think they'd missed the point at that point in time.
That's it. It's people that don't watch Eurovision that vote for this and go, oh, yeah, it's brilliant. And then it goes to Eurovision and it's going nowhere fast.
Just fell down a bit flat.
Yeah. But I think Astronautica, I like that. I thought it was all right. As a bit of stupid, talking of Scooch, I liked it. I thought it was all right. I thought maybe that might have qualified as a bit of interest, but it was going nowhere fast.
This is true. Guys, we've had a quick discussion on the non-qualies, but let's take a look at what actually made it through to the final last night.
A los ojos te vi ganas de hablar. Yo que cuando te veo se me olvida respirar.
Some absolute cracking songs there. Absolutely tremendous. Really happy with the output of Benidorm Fest this year. Let's go to Alina first. Obviously, when it came down to it, the top four were, we had our winner, which we'll talk about in a minute, but you had Angie, you had St. Pedro, George obviously won the televote as well, which admittedly only counted for 25% or came second in the televote, I should say. Were these genuinely the top four? Or do you reckon the other four should have had a fairer crack of the whip, so to speak?
I'm a bit more over the room. Like with Angie, I love the song, not the staging. With St. Pedro, it was just a bit boring for me. And Jorge with Caliente, yeah, that was my favorite. I really, really liked the song and staging. Otherwise, they were like good ones and bad ones for me. Brilos with Alkmaar, it also felt a bit like a school talent show for me, like the way he performed it. I don't know, I got that vibe. But the other ones were like good. Definitely when you just watched the Lithuanian selection, they were like all very good.
I like that. That's a kind of standard format there. Paul and Andrew, do you reckon there is such thing as a kind of standard Spanish Eurovision song there?
Well, it's when you think of the last 2 years, the Spanish entries have been totally different. But you had two songs which were quite similar to the entries that they've had. But I have to say, I thought the quality again of the final was really high. There wasn't really a song that I actually disliked in any of them. There were obviously things that I thought were really strong. The gay man in me loved Jorge.
Me too.
But I thought Angie was quite good, although she's sort of like, I read her name wrong initially. I thought she was angry. So, and she did seem very angry.
You weren't the only one. You weren't the only one.
I did mention last night in the chat rooms that I was in that I thought that Spain were really throwing the camp kitchen singing this year into their final. There's a load of camp songs. It's not a bad thing. Yeah. And how Jorge, he seems that is the second person I've seen this year. I think the other one was Albania. They covered himself in leaves and sort of detritus. It seems to be an ongoing thing this year to cover yourself in,
foliage.
Roll around outside. Maybe it was a storm.
Well, there have been a lot of storms this winter, as the Met Office can testify as well. Let's go round to Phil and Michelle. Phil and Michelle, when it comes to Benidorm Fest, obviously the song that won, we know, was a song that went viral. It wasn't the song that necessarily did as well in the semi-finals. It built up. The song that actually came top, I think, in its semi-final overall was St. Pedro, which tied in the jury vote. Do you reckon the jury vote should have had more of a say? Do you reckon there was scope for St. Pedro's ballad to make it at Eurovision?
I'm going to say no, because I thought I liked the San Pedro song. It was a nice sort of Latin American sort of smooth vibe to it, but I don't think it would have done well at Eurovision. I think it was too sort of, I don't know, relaxed.
Too lounge music.
Yeah.
I felt like I was on holiday drinking a cocktail in a really nice lounge, and it just sort of relaxes you a little bit, and you think, oh, this is lovely. But it's not really Eurovision fodder at all.
It didn't, it wasn't the sort of ballad that really grabs you emotionally. I'm going to say, I thought Maria Pelé.
Yeah.
I mean, that was as Spanish as you can get, wasn't it? That was the most Spanish thing ever. But it was a bit shouty for me.
Bit shouty. Spanish traditional music.
Yeah, but it was a bit shouty.
Oh.
To be fair, it did come bottom of my own kind of list last night. So
I think it was a shame that Almacourt, he was destined for massive things, and then nothing happened. And I think it was because in his video and stuff, he had a massive amount of auto tune. So so that your voice goes all funny and wobbly, and obviously you can't go to Eurovision with a load of auto tune. So they took it off last night, and bless him. He sounded like a pub singer.
He didn't. Yeah, he's not got the vocal quality with auto tune, unfortunately.
He had a lot of charisma. But,
it was like a great song. It was like a real sort of getting the crowd going song, but he just sounded like a bit of a lad doing it in karaoke.
Yeah.
You say pub singer, I thought kind of like teenage talent contest.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, I hope I'm next after him at karaoke.
And the next cab off the rank.
Stop being so mean.
Oh, shut your face, Andy.
Jorge Gonzalez.
Oh yes.
Wow, that's aimed at a certain demographic, isn't it?
Phil thought that Jorge Gonzalez was delicious.
Yeah, but it was certainly had a targeted audience, didn't it?
Why did
he would have had my
him?
vote? All I can say.
Right, if they'd have sent him, every gay in the world would have voted for him, and every female menopausal woman from 45 to 55 would have voted for him. He was a shoo-in. Oh my
Alina's
goodness.
like, I would have voted for him as well. Take yourself off.
Yeah.
I'm not menopausal, and I would vote for him. So
yeah, I think everyone in the whole world thought Jorge was absolutely.
Yeah.
Jorge was delicious.
George, but that's the
George was delicious.
Yeah, it was a bloke doing fuego, though, wasn't it?
It was a bloke doing fuego, but we don't care. Did you see him?
And I like Sophia Cole, although that didn't really go anywhere. I think the song was better than her performance, unfortunately.
My mind's wandered now because I'm
The
just
one,
thinking.
the one
Of,
with the spiral staircase, remember?
no, I'm just thinking
With-
of Jorge now.
She had like a chest of drawers on the front of a dress
Yes,
with
she
drawer
did.
handles.
Because I said, "Oh, who's next?" And you went the one with the one with the drawer handles on a dress. It's like, what?
Oh.
Yeah, and then they ripped all that stuff off her, and it was like, it's no Jorge.
And
Well,
Miss Cafena, which was a bunch of blokes, strangely, that was very professionally done, very radio friendly, but just didn't grab me compared to the
I
others,
sort
did
of
it?
thought it was a bit rubbish, and then as it got towards the end, I was tapping my foot, and I thought, oh, hey, you know, yeah, there's something going on here. So it maybe did grab me, and I didn't realise it had grabbed me until it was too late. My foot was tapping. So, you know.
I just heard blah, 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 to be fair.
Yeah.
That's just...
I did that today in the car on the way to Wembley. Phil said to me, "How do I blah blah blah."
Well, I'll tell you, let's bring Andy in. So, Andy, I was thinking of you during Benidorm Fest because when Angie came on and she delivered this rock song, I thought it just reminded me of the type of thing you might see in San Remo. You know, have we got a clash of Spanish and Italian culture starting to occur in these festivals?
It was quite similar to Emma, who represented Italy in 2014 and got Italy's worst ever result since they came back. So no, I don't think it would have done very well at Eurovision, but I thought it was pretty good. My absolute favourite of the whole contest was the flamenco song, and thank God they didn't send it after last year because flamenco does not go down very well in Eurovision. The San Pedro song, it was lovely, but it reminded me of Blue Moon. You saw me standing alone, without a love in my heart, without a dream of my own. No?
Blue Moon.
And available at all new record shops on Monday.
Yeah, no, it was very sweet, and I think he'll do very well. He'll come back with a better song.
This, do you know what? And I think you're absolutely right in that, Andy. Who haven't I spoken to? Is it just Troy? Let's bring Troy in. Are you receiving us in Australia, Troy?
He's muted.
I think he's
Is it working?
We can hear you. We can hear you. It's like the old-fashioned video links.
Because I've missed most of what people have discussed, but that's it feels like it. I can tell you there was some eye candy in that show. I mean, the Cubs in Nebulosa, hey, just Jorge. San Pedro, yeah, but Jorge got killed by the jury. So, if anything, I mean, finishing 5th in the jury.
Oh. Have we lost you again, Troy? I think we've lost him.
I don't have it.
I'll tell you what. Let's put my ugly mug on the screen. There we go. Hello. Right. I tell you what, guys. Let's put you all out of your misery, and let's look at what actually won in Spain.
Estoy en un buen momento, reconstruida por dentro.
Yes, short, sharp, and sweet. We do have to abide by YouTube copyright rules. Of course we do. Nebulosa, the viral hit of Benidorm Fest. Beautifully translates as either bitch or you slut. Language which we are so not accustomed to use. Who am I kidding? Anyway, let's go straight to Elena. How's this going to do at Eurovision?
I don't know. If you're asking if it will like generically like do well, I have no idea. If you're asking what my opinion is, I didn't like it. It felt like a bad version of a Schlager. I don't know, a Swedish or a German Schlager, but I was like, it's like a worse version of. Yeah, it was not my cup of tea. Maybe it was also because I was on the Jorge train. Yeah, maybe it will grow, but I don't know how it will do at Eurovision. Like for the life of me, I don't.
Oh, there was me looking for you to gaze into your crystal ball, predict. You're like, yeah.
If I don't win the Euro Millions, I'm bad at predicting. So don't ask me how to predict Eurovision results.
Darling, I've been playing Euro Millions for years and never won more than about £2.70. I don't think that's a true record of prediction. I tell you what, let's go to Paul and Andrew then. If you had to predict where this song was going to end up at Eurovision, do you reckon we're looking at top half of the table, bottom half of the table, or controversially, mid-table mediocrity?
Well, I think it will come pretty much last. I don't think it will go down well at all at Eurovision. However, I think in years to come, it's going to be an absolute massive fan favourite forever. So at Euro Club, it's going to be out. You know, people will be dancing and singing to it. Might even actually learn Spanish so I can sing along with it. I do think it reminded me. I just realised, literally, just in the last 5 minutes, it reminds me slightly of Katie Price when she took part for us.
I'm not entirely sure that's a beautiful comparison to make.
Well, probably with the title of the song, it could be construed as appropriate.
This is also true. This is true.
I have to say I agree with Elena to a little bit in the fact that while personally it's not my cup of tea and I think it's a bit like a joke entry, so that gets my back up a little bit. At the same time, the audience at home may love it and suddenly vote for it. So but I'd be very surprised. I think we're looking at lower half, I'm afraid, unfortunately.
Maybe if they do something outrageous with the staging. Some milkmaids.
What, naked men on the stage aren't?
Well, more outrageous. Their ass is completely out or something. Yeah.
To be fair, the song you've made me think of, the pair of you, in actual fact, is Lavender. Because if you play Lavender at a Eurovision event, people go wild. They do conga trains and everything. But Lavender literally propped up the bottom of the table. And, you know, there could be a similar effect going on. And I think that's certainly...
and she'd probably be a massive favourite for future events as well. So, you know, any fan events.
Yes, I suspect she'll be doing the rounds come June. Andy, let's pull you in here. Obviously, the English translation, shall we say, making use of your multilinguistic skills, is less than polite. Do we think there is going to come a time over the next 8 weeks or so where the EBU step in and go, rewrite some lyrics?
No, I don't think there's the slightest chance of that. People only care about swear words if they're in English. Because I think Sweden could send a song in Swedish with Swedish swear words and nobody else would give a fuck, to be honest. No, they're not. And slut and bitch, they're not that bad. You can get away with them. The song is about empowerment and reclaiming the word. I mean, it's a bit like gay people reclaiming the word queer, but in this case, it's a woman that's reclaiming the word. And I think Zora doesn't translate properly into English as either bitch or vixen. Or we don't have the word vixen as a swear word. So no, I don't think it will be a problem. It's not going to win Eurovision, and if you're not going to win Eurovision, then you might as well have a big hit in your own country, and that's what this is. It's a massive hit already. she comes from. Thank you to Tristan for prepping me on this. There's an underground music scene. I'm not sure how underground it is. A version of Spanish glam rock, which this is. I mean, to me, it sounds like 80s music that the Pet Shop Boys might have done. And it's a bit like Schlager, as Aline said. So musically, there's nothing fresh or new about it, but it is telling a story. And I think the thing that might cause a problem is the men's bottoms. Even though Chanel came with her women's bottoms, who wants to see fat old men walloping around with a thong up their arse? I don't.
You do surprise me. But
no, I'm of a certain age,
oh, you'll be forever young to us, Andy.
Oh, fuck off. I told you last week I don't need to come here to be insulted. I can go anywhere.
Yeah, but we love having you on. And it's San Radio next week as well.
We do it better as well, Andy, don't we?
You what?
We insult you better than...
We insult you better.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I'll tell you what, let's try and bring in Troy. The winner of Benidorm Fest, Nebulosa. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. As someone said, it was one song that did stick out. I was playing them on my Spotify, and it's probably one of the only ones that stuck out. Where's me notes? Jorge, but for another reason. San Pedro for another reason. Angie was a crowd favourite by the looks of things, but it didn't really do anything for me, even the song either. The one probably, if anything, was Sophia Cole. I actually liked the song. She got 6th and 7th. But I don't think Spain would get anywhere dramatically if it was to send another flamenco style song in Spanish. I'm sorry, it's not appealing to the masses in Europe and Australia.
There we go. So you heard it here first. Let's go across to the King and Queen. What is the royal opinion? Has Nebulosa got the royal approval?
Well, I love an old woman at Eurovision. You know that by now. It gives me hope. All I need now is a fat old woman who's a bit of a lush. And that's it. I'm well in there then.
Well, they do allow auto-tune these days as well. So
yeah.
The only thing I would point out is our good friend Martin from the Let Me Be the One podcast and radio show has pointed out that he wouldn't be able to even mention the title of his song in the UK because of UK broadcasting regulations.
Yeah, doesn't matter if it's in foreign. If you're an effing and jeffing, you can't have it. So
unfortunately, he's probably not going to get a lot of airplay, daytime airplay in the UK. Now, whether that matters or not is another thing.
When was the last time a Eurovision national final winner got a lot of airplay in the UK?
But will that mean that the lyrics have to change?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I honestly don't know.
I don't think slut is a swear for a start. So I think you're all right. And what about, do you remember that woman who did that bitch song years ago? I'm a bitch.
Is it Macy Gray? No.
No, it wasn't. No. But anyway, she said bitch. And it was on the radio all the time. It was a top 10 hit. So why can't you have... Yeah, Meredith, yeah. So why can't you have a slutty bitch? There's no reason why not. Absolutely none.
There we go.
So but I like the wallpaper in the back. It made me want to curry.
I like the men's arses. And also, talking about men's arses, What was that shit band you like from last year that was that?
Oh, Let 3.
They had arses all over the place and nobody. Well, actually, I did complain, but nobody listened.
Yeah, but they didn't have their arses out on the Eurovision stage. They did in the national final, but they had big pants on.
The men have got big pants on. They come up to here. So I see no reason why we can't have a slut bitch bum fest.
Oh, love it. Well,
I think Ollie Alexander's going to like this song, isn't it?
Oh, I
He'll be right in
suspect
there.
so. Although I suspect he probably would have preferred Jorge to win. So, you know.
Yeah.
But do you know what? I thought probably the right song won. Yes, it was a viral hit in Spain. Yes, it probably did peak at just the right time. And I think it took home the victory quite convincingly in the end. Although, can I ever make sense of the Spanish voting system? Demiscopic jury televoting, what now?
What does that mean?
Absolutely not. Anyway, guys, Benidorm Fest complete. It's done. It's over for another year, which means we can get on to Melodifestivalen. Now, you will notice there is a gap in the panel this week. And this is because our very own Sean actually has been over in Malmö. We're going to see if this works. Now, I've got a video here that says Sean Arena. And unlike all the others, I haven't actually played this one. So we're going to see what this one says before we look at any of the entries at all. Let's see what it was like inside the arena last night.
Hi, Sean. We're here at Malmö Arena, host city of Eurovision 2024. This is the arena, and we're here for Melodifestivalen semi-final 1. Yay!
Gemenskapsövning kanske det heter.
Come on everybody, dance with me. Happy me. Come on, dance with me.
Att ni fyller i. Ja!
Sad show from Hellfest, smash into pieces and Lisa Ajax through to the grand final. I'll see you next week. Bye.
He spoilt us. He spoilt us. How are we supposed to cope under these conditions? Right. Do you know what, guys? Let's just go straight in then. We already know who has qualified for Melfest, but let's look at the songs that sadly got thrown out and sadly have made it through to the 5th semi-final. Let's take a look. Okay, guys, do these songs ever fail to disappoint? Paul and Andrew, let's come to you. I mean, those are the collections. Obviously, we know that Andrew, what's his face, qualified, and we know to the final, and so did Lisa. But what about the others? What about the ones that got thrown on the reject, the proper reject heap? What are we thinking?
I was a little upset for the girl with the guitar. It was quite a sort of a retro song. It was quite a simple, pleasant song. I quite liked that. Samia, and that was just without being derogatory. It wasn't. Didn't have the fun that their previous entries had had, which was sort of like the really sort of like wacky fun. And it, to me, it just sort of like felt a bit flat.
Yeah, I agree. That's I just didn't really get that song. Usually, that when they're funny, they do their Schlager funny songs. They're pretty good, good for a laugh. I'll probably listen to it again though. I was a bit disappointed about Adam Woods. I thought it was a really. I mean, the vocals weren't brilliant. The song wasn't brilliant, but I absolutely loved the staging, the LCD display was brilliant. Yeah.
I have to say, Andrew was probably my surprise qualifier of the night. I hadn't quite got him down to qualify.
It's one of those. Sorry, it's one of those songs. I'd say it's one of those songs. Supernatural. It seemed to start off really well, and then just didn't seem to go anywhere. I think if they almost gave it a bit more of an oomph with it, it could actually be a really strong song.
Yeah, no, do you know what? I think you're absolutely right, because I think the song itself had that really good kind of like opening kind of bit to it. And by the end of it, I was kind of like thinking, oh, is that where we're at kind of thing, which I thought was quite a shame with this. I'm going to bring Alina in on this as well, because Alina, when it comes to the two qualifiers, obviously we had Forever Yours and Supernatural. Deserved qualifiers?
Yes. Yeah, but I also liked like the non-qualifiers. Like I think Adam Woods was like a very good song, great opener for Melodifestivalen. Was not a fan of the Fest, or like it missed something in the middle. Also, Amit, Paul, and Andrew, like Samir and Victor, they were like the worst of their entries so far. And I listen to them like maybe once every 2 months. And the other ones were like fun and lovely. But yeah.
Yeah, my comment on Samir and Victor said, and you'll appreciate this, Alina, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was a poor man's Badenachner.
Yeah.
Because I thought
it was like a mix of every song they did in Melodifestivalen, but done poorly, in my opinion. It was not on the high train of Samir and Victor.
It was like they tried to recreate it.
Yeah.
I don't think it entirely worked. But then also, I don't know, it just didn't have that bounce that it traditionally had, which was a shame, because let's face it, I'm normally down for that type of thing, to be fair. Let's bring Troy in here as well. Obviously, let's talk about Lisa Lindstrom, Forever Yours. It's through to the runoff, which takes place on the 2nd of March. What did you make? Oh, we loved it so much. He's gone, look, straight away. Look at that. Do you know what, Andy? Boom, you're up.
Listen, this is the final result, and that's how I placed them. Absolutely the other way round. I thought Melina Borglor was absolutely stunningly beautiful, a wonderful song, and she performed the life out of it. You could tell she was in tears at the end. It was absolutely beautiful. Reminded me of the Portuguese song that came dead last when they hosted, so wouldn't have done well in Eurovision, but I liked it. And Samir and Victor, I thought they were great. They had a studied sort of casualness about it. It came over as a bit like pub karaoke, but in a good way, if that's possible. I really enjoyed it. I can't bear the two that went through. Well, I mean, they're just, no. So I'm sticking up for the ones that came last and second last.
Oh, do you know what?
Oh, and the best thing of all was the Schlager that opened the show. That was really good.
Ah, yes. And to be fair, although I want to talk about it a bit later, the 18s medley as well. I liked that.
Yeah, I might not have been awake for that.
Oh, Andy, you missed out. It's
been a long weekend.
To be fair, I mean, I was sat in front of the TV probably from about 4 o'clock last night till nearly midnight. I was falling asleep by the end of it. Ukraine, Latvia, Lithuania, Sweden, Norway, Spain.
Oh, but Ukraine! Oh my God, I absolutely love it. And then everybody said that I'm sorry, tell me to shut up. But everybody was telling me that the Norwegian song was a pile of old shite. So I thought, it's going to be terrible. I think that's brilliant. Really liked
No, they're
it.
just embittered Keno fans who think that the 50-50 televote and jury should have...
Just embittered Keno fans. You're going to get hate
basically.
mail tomorrow.
Yeah, but they are, to be fair. Phil and Michelle.
You're right.
Phil and Michelle. The song that came bottom was a lovely ballad. It was just someone there with a guitar and stuff. Do we think when it comes to Melfest, these ballads have to work extra hard to qualify? Because there never seems to be a lot of them that ever seem to make it past the first round. And certainly if they make the runoff, they never seem to get beyond that either. Yeah,
well, I think the problem is with somebody stood there singing a sweet, lovely love song with a guitar in the hand, I'm focused going, you're not really playing that guitar. I know it's not plugged in. I know you're not allowed a proper guitar on stage. And I think it's just an absolute waste. We all know you're faking it. Don't bother even trying. It's pointless. Stand there and sing your song and use your arms for a bit of emotion and, get us all going. But you're not playing that bloody guitar.
The only person who did well with the guitar was Victor Crone when his guitar suddenly appeared and then suddenly disappeared again.
At least once a week I hear about this.
But apart from that, no, you're right. I don't think ballads are Sweden's strong point.
No. Do you reckon they're frightened to send a ballad after Anna Bergendahl failed to qualify?
That wasn't without a doubt. Yeah, they've had one failure and they've gone, oh no, we can't go near that again. It's dreadful. But I think if you put the guitar down and sing from your heart, I mean, look at Johnny Logan. He didn't have a guitar and he did fantastically well. This is true. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Now, guys, we're going to attempt a bit of a phone call here. Just going to try and call Sean. 1 second. Hang on. The screen might go black for a moment. Sean, are you there?
Hi, everyone. It's Sean in Malmö. And I was here for the first semi-final of this year's Melodifestivalen. So sorry I can't be with you tonight, but here are my thoughts on last night's show. But first of all, wow, they really know how to do it over here. It was just so spectacular, especially the interact with 18s. That was just an absolute moment, absolutely brilliant. The songs, well, let's start off with Adam Wood's Supernatural. It was first on, and there were elements of euphoria in the background to this, and it was a really good, dancey, upbeat number. But me and Ian both thought there was really something missing, and we couldn't quite put our finger on it. It just didn't feel finished. Don't know what it was, but it's just something that left us a little bit empty, really disappointed. Second up was Samir and Victor. Now, our seats were right next to the green room, and just before the show started, Samir from Samir and Victor sort of waved at me, and I thought, why are you waving at me? I kind of looked across, I thought, why are you waving at me? I don't know you, or whatever. So I looked behind me thinking he might be waving at somebody else, and then looked back at him, and he went, no, and pointed at me and waved, so I waved back. Really nice moment. But as far as the song is concerned, not as strong as the previous entries, I don't think, from Sammy and Victor. Now, they've got a big following over here, especially among the little kids. And I saw dozens of kids that had homemade banners for Sammy and Victor, waving them in the arena. And I saw quite a few upset, crying little toddlers on the way out when they found out that they'd been eliminated. Such a shame. So Melina Borglo, the lady in green, playing the guitar, and I said to Ian, I wonder if they're doing some sort of green screen technology here with this one. And Ian said to me, well, that'd look a bit daft, wouldn't it? Just a head and hands playing a guitar. It would be really funny. It might have made the song a bit more interesting, though, because it wasn't great. It was really nothing about it, to be fair. Didn't really go well down in the arena. There was no reaction from the crowd at all. And then, by comparison, song 4, Elisa Lindström, Forever Yours. Wow. What an absolute anthem. What a massive pop, schlager, dance, disco hit. This is going to be played for years and years to come, I think, in all those Eurovision and schlager party nights. It's going to be fantastic. I really, really hope it gets through to the final. Both Elisa and Adam Woods have qualify for the final qualification round, which is in 4 weeks' time. So there is still a chance that they could get to the grand final. Those are my thoughts on the songs that unfortunately didn't qualify direct to the final last night in Malmö.
Oh, we seem to have lost connection. Do you know what? I reckon he'll be back. He'll come back. He'll tell us what he thinks of the qualifiers. Speaking of the qualifiers, though, guys, let's take a look at what actually made it through in Sweden last night. Direct to final.
When the skies are falling, hear the heroes calling.
Short, sharp, and sweet. We obviously had Smash Into Pieces with Heroes Calling. We had Lisa Ajax as well with Awful Liar. Since I'm an awful liar, I'm going to tell the truth and say I thought the other Lisa should have got through. I would have loved to have seen Lisa Lindström, Forever Yours, to direct final. But you know what? Lisa Ajax, you still did a fab job, and I still wouldn't have Melfest without you in it. I thought it was brilliant. However, Smash Into Pieces. Oh, yes. Their song last year, absolutely epic. 6 Feet Under. Absolutely loved it. This year did not fail to disappoint, although I would have liked a more kind of Blade Runner-esque background like we saw from them last year. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely amazing. I hope it goes really, 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 really big in the final, because I would absolutely love to see Sweden send this at Eurovision. And I've just realised I've got a panel I'm supposed to be asking these questions to as well. So I tell you what, Alina, over to you.
Yeah, so on the Smash Into Pieces train, they came to Belgium like a few weeks ago or a month ago, and I didn't go, and I still to this day hate it, because I loved their song last year. But if I'm truly being honest, I think this song this year is like a little bit weaker than last year, and maybe I'm still on the other train, but I was like a little bit disappointed. But I love the group and I love their music, but I was like, the other one was better. But yeah, and then Lisa Ajax, I have so many questions. Like, when is her due date? Will she be able to go to Eurovision? Because she's pregnant, maybe she will like deliver just before, I don't know. And I also thought it was a weird song for her singing, being pregnant, like you're such an awful liar, and then you're standing there with a lovely baby bump, and I was like, what? So yeah, that are my thoughts.
Hey, thank you, Alina. Let's move across to Paul and Andrew as well. What was your take on these?
I'm with Alina. I think Smash Into Pieces was an excellent song last year. It obviously lost out to Loreen, but you know, that them's the breaks. This year, their song was just really not as good. It's okay, middle of the road sort of pop rock, but not that good. Yeah.
I think the two best songs got through to the final, but I don't think either of them are necessarily a winner, or I'd be very surprised if they were the winner for Sweden. It's to me, Smash Into Pieces, loved their song last year and thought it should have gone rather than Loreen, which I know is heresy. And the ballad, you know, with the lady bump, to me that was just absolutely epic.
Yeah, it was a strong song. I wasn't unhappy to see it get through. Let's put it that way. You know, I think I'm just too much on the Smash Into Pieces train, to be honest. The fact they got announced.
I don't understand. Sorry, I don't get the gimmick behind Smash Into Pieces. That head. Well, I mean, the helmet he's wearing. Why? It's just a weird gimmick. I just don't like it.
It's a talking point, isn't it? That's the it's a talking point. That's all I can think of when it comes to
I thought that last year too.
So, Andy, obviously these were your bottom two when it came to your rankings, as we found out earlier.
So here is a calling. It's a pastiche. Somebody up here said, reminded them of the Final Countdown, and that was what it reminded me of. But the lyrics were cliche, the rhymes were awful. No, it's I think pastiche is the right word to describe it. And Lisa, I don't want to talk about the song because it just didn't do anything for me. But just to say, even though Anna from ABBA was 9 months pregnant when she sang Ring Ring, it's not a good idea singing when you're pregnant. It can damage the voice. So, and the more pregnant you are, the more danger there is to your voice. So she possibly shouldn't be thinking of singing Eurovision if she's going to be about to give birth.
I mean, I was going to say, wasn't was it Croatia 2003? Strings of My Heart. She was pregnant when she went on stage.
The woman from Estonia in 2013 when it was in Malmö, she was pregnant when she.
Oh, was she pregnant as well?
Yeah.
There we go. Fascinating facts. Fascinating facts.
Not that I'm an expert on women's pregnancies.
No. You don't strike me as a midwife, Andy. I'm just saying. I don't think you've had a career in midwifery. Let's just go across to Phil and Michelle. Obviously, you've got two very opposing genres there when it comes to it. What genre did you like the best?
Well, one was good and one was bad. But can you guess which is which?
Well, I think you're more of a rock chick, so I'm going to go with the fact that you like Smash Into Pieces.
Well, you'd be absolutely and utterly, completely right.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. It was right up our straws. That was. This is what we expect from them. This is what we got. And I enjoyed it very, very, very much.
Excellent.
And it's good to see it's good to see some rock in the final as well, isn't it? It's not just going to be the same stuff getting to the final of Melfest. It's going to be
generic dancey woman.
Yeah, or a bit of Schlager. It's going to be a good mix.
Yeah. And Lisa AJ, oh God, I just thought it was a bit generic. It was a bit boring and nothing really happened. It's like we've seen it a million times before.
My biggest problem with it was just a bit too repetitive because all I came away from it was awful liar. You know, it's
nothing fantastic.
It's just the way it goes. Anyway, guys, I think we've got a phone call coming through. Hang on 1 second. Let's turn the screen to black. Sean, you there?
Hello, welcome back to Malmö. Now then, so Lisa Ajax and Smash Into Pieces both qualified direct to the grand final. In the first round of voting, Smash Into Pieces won the public vote, and Heroes Are Calling goes right to the final, and I thought this was a really good, strong song. I've got to say, I don't think it's quite as strong as last year's song by Smash Into Pieces, but nonetheless, still an absolute hit, and the crowd were going wild for it. I'm not sure if the staging was quite as good as last year, but they did use some of the sort of transparent LED screen technology because the drummer wasn't on stage for a lot of the song, and then on the moments that he was elevated on a platform behind the main screen. So we obviously realised at that point that the main screen, or certainly the centre portion of it, is the new transparent LED technology screens. It was a really smart, clever effect, I thought. But again, the staging and the song for Smash Into Pieces, I don't think quite as strong as last year. Will they win Melodifestivalen? Well, it's too early to comment because there's another 5 weeks to go. So, Lisa Ajax, Awful Liar. She won the second section of the voting, and it was a really good, strong song. She's got an amazing voice, absolutely stunning voice. Again, I'm a fan of her earlier songs more than this one, to be fair. But yeah, she got a massive reception from the crowd and a very, very strong song, and that'll be one to watch in the final as well. All in all, Melodifestivalen Heat 1, an amazing experience. We love it here in Malmö. We'll definitely be back and back and back next year, and the year after that, and the year after that probably, because I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh, cheers, Sean. Oh, bless him. There we go. Big, big, big thanks to Sean, who obviously, if you didn't guess, put together those videos for us in Malmö this weekend. Guys, alas, we are coming to the end of the show. Yes, no need to feel so sad. It's all right. We are back next week. In the meantime, don't forget, you can find us on YouTube, X, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Facebook. You can keep the conversation going. Also, next week, it's another absolutely bumper week. Andy, Sanremo.
Oh, God, I forgot.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, we're on Friday at some sort of normal time of the day, and then on Saturday night we're on 1:30 in the morning.
yes, but Friday run at 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. Central European time on Friday.
6 p.m. That's not exactly
Yes.
right time, is it?
No, but we've got
sure?
to allow people chat. Yeah, we've got to allow people time to watch the Friday night show, the cover show.
Yeah, very, very, very good point. Yeah, and everybody's going to stay with us, aren't they? 1:30 on Sunday morning.
Yes,
we get quite a big audience. Amazingly enough, everybody's pissed, so nobody cares.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'd never remember doing it, but we'll be there.
Awesome.
1:30 or whenever Sanremo actually finishes, which could be later.
We're also going to be on Glitterbeam Radio, and they're guesting on our show. That's great as well.
Hey,
arrivederci.
A fantastic week of Sanremo to come. In the meantime, obviously, we'll be back next Sunday evening as well to discuss more fabulous things, including, obviously, Melodifestivalen semi-final 2, where Sean will actually be in attendance with us as well. Until then, guys.
No, he won't. Sean's off next week. He won't.
Is he not in next week as well?
No, he's not. No.
Who authorised that?
Somehow.
He's got to edit. There's 3 shows next week, starting at 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. Central European time, 7 p.m. UK time, 8 p.m. Central European time, and 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Central European time. So Sean's going to have to start editing the videos, so he's not on next week.
It's all very amateur.
In my contract. When I agreed to host these, this was not in my contract. What can I say?
Yeah. So.
Oh well, guys, we will be back next week. In the meantime, keep the conversation going. A massive thanks to my panel, who have been fantastic as always. And you know what, guys? Just give everyone a nice big wave. There we go. And we will see you all very soon. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Bye.